This week on The Modified World, we're going to talk about good black jewelry versus bad black jewelry. So stay tuned. So welcome to The Modified World, the weekly web show about body modification, the people who do it, the people who get it, and why it matters. I'm your host, JC, senior piercer up here at the world-renowned Pangea Piercing, and the fellow who's known for being that internet video guy. And this week, we're going to be talking to you a little bit about black body jewelry. The good stuff, the bad stuff, what to look for, what to avoid. So the first thing I'm going to say, to start everything off with, is no manufacturers helped in any way, shape, or form on the production of this video. All right, so say you didn't want to watch the whole video and you just wanted to get the too long didn't watch version. Well, I say stick with your major domestic manufacturers. We're talking about Industrial Strength, Anatometal, Leroy, SM316, and for glass, we like Glassware Studios. Of course, Gorilla Glass also makes some nice stuff. They're in Mexico, but still, it's Jason Fole. I mean, he's a good dude. He treats his people good. Let's say you wanted to know more about it, though, about what makes good quality black jewelry, what makes crap. First thing we're going to do is look at is threading. You notice these guys that we got over here at the head shop, they're externally threaded. It means the screw threads on the outside of the post, not on the inside. Contrast that with these Industrial Strength pieces over here, and you'll see that the screw threads go inside the post. Hence, they won't damage your piercing on the way through. Now, of course, you shouldn't just automatically trust internally threaded jewelry nowadays, because there is some really crappy stuff coming down the pike. You're going to want to look at things like ball to bar transition. If you look on these guys over here, you'll notice that the gap between the ball and bar is quite large. You could easily trap bodily fluids, bacteria, dead skin cells, bodily oils, all that type of stuff that you don't want to necessarily have trapped in your jewelry. Contrast that with these Anatometal pieces over here, and you can see that the ball to bar transition is flawless. When you talk about material, these guys over here, we have no idea what the hell they are. They could be anything. Steel, titanium, they're probably some sort of low-grade stainless steel. Once again, these guys over here, though, we know that these are quality titanium pieces from Industrial Strength with a PVD coating on the outside. What is PVD, you might ask? PVD stands for physical vapor disposition. It's the process where you somehow vaporize some material and get it to actually deposit on the surface of another material. There's a lot of different methods on it. Some are better than others. To Industrial Strength's credit, their first line of PVD coated jewelry didn't actually have good durability. And so they recalled it all and replaced it with some of the best stuff you'll ever see. Say you didn't want to go with something coated. Well, you can either get black glass or black niobium. Glass you're already familiar with. We've already done a video about glass. It's awesome, smooth, hypoallergenic, easily makeable into weird shapes and in between sizes to help facilitate the stretching process. And of course, we already talked about niobium too in my first good jewelry versus bad jewelry video. But let's talk a little further. Niobium can be distinguished from PVD coated items by the sheen. You'll notice it looks more like hematite. It's almost a shiny gray rather than a true black. It's because the finish on black niobium, it's not a coating, it's actually called fire scale. When you heat niobium up to the point that it's glowing, when it cools down, it is turned black. And that's technically, it's not a coating. You've actually changed the outside of the metal. I mean, technically speaking, it can be removed, but it takes a grinder and a lot of work. When you first do that heat treat process to niobium, it comes out a matte black. Then after a fine polish, you wind up with this deep, rich luster. To me, I can spot it from a mile away. A trained eye, you'll get to where you can too. And you'll get to the point where the PVD coated stuff just doesn't look as cool. That said though, there's a lot fewer things you can make from niobium. You can't really do complex shapes. You can't really do all that much because niobium is a little different than most metals. When you drill into most metals, it leaves shavings. When you drill into niobium, it powders. It's pretty easy to strip the threads out of it too, so you have to be a little more careful with it. But that said though, nothing beats the look and nothing beats its hypoallergenic nature. A little interesting thing is niobium was actually used even before stainless steel in body jewelry manufacturing, as early as 1976 if I recall. Good track record. It pays to know who you're getting your stuff from. The only way that we're able to tell that this is implant grade titanium under these pieces over here is because we know we got these from industrial strength. So we know that they're implant grade stainless steel and implant grade titanium underneath that coating. These guys over here, I don't know what they are. They could be God knows what. And let me tell you, we've seen God knows what. Not only that, but you have to watch. Some of that cheap stuff isn't even PVD coated. Now, I've seen things that are just seriously spray painted black. It's not a joke, people. We're not just, as piercers, telling you to buy the good stuff because we're trying to make more money. We're trying to help keep you safe here. Another option for black jewelry that I unfortunately do not have an example of is black gold. First off, actually, gold is not black. What they do is they plate it with another precious metal called rhodium. And I'm not sure exactly the process on it, but I know you can do a black rhodium plating. And I have that jewelry in stock before, and this might anger some of my friends that are in the business of manufacturing gold body jewelry and doing some black rhodium plating on it, but I've never had a piece that the plating lasted longer than 3 weeks. Rubs off and shows the underlying substrate metal, which is gold, so it's not bad, it's just unsightly. And if you're spending that kind of money on jewelry, you want something that's going to be durable. So as much as I hate to say it, I really haven't found something that I'm going to be really all that happy with unless we're talking niobium, PVD steel, PVD titanium, or black glass. Now, of course, there's a cost variation with all this stuff. These pieces I got over here to make this video with, I bought retail for $30 for all 3 pieces. Now, sounds like a good deal until you realize that those things wholesaled for anywhere between 14 cents, maybe $1. So while you pat yourself on the back and say, well, I only paid 10 bucks, you really got hosed. If they were charging the same markup that a lot of your high-end professional piercers are charging for their jewelry, then these things would cost about $2 a piece because they wholesale for seriously like $1. Where if you go to a high-end professional piercer and you buy, quality Anatometal or industrial strength or Leroy jewelry, you're pretty much just only paying twice what they paid. As far as retail business goes, that's a tiny, tiny, tiny markup. It's amazing that we're even able to stay in business doing what we do. But it is a bit of a labor of love. As far as the factors that go in on why quality black jewelry is more expensive than the cheap stuff, well, first off, material. Everything that I'm showing you that I would sell is implant grade. The stuff that you get from your average tattoo shop, the swap meet, the mall, novelty item stores, it's made out of God knows what. And it's certainly not going to have an implant grade designation. Fine quality finish takes more time. Everything that I sell is hand finished and made in America by people who make living wages. Not some poor guy in some slave labor factory in some place that I can't pronounce. And nobody wants to be a part of the slave labor factory system. That's no good. So that was our show this week. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you might have learned something or at least been moderately entertained. If you haven't subscribed yet, you need to do that so that you never miss a video. And of course, leave me a comment in the section down below telling me what did you think of this week's episode. Did you learn something? Were you at least moderately entertained? What do you think of my shirt? Let me know in the section down below. And of course, hit us up and share this video on your Tumblr, your Facebook, your Twitter, Google Plus if you got one. We don't mind. And of course, be sure to stop back by again next Friday for another episode of The Modified World.